for Coach.
Hi, Kerr Burke, NBC Sports Bay Area. After a pretty rough game after the Knicks, where you mentioned the team was playing undisciplined defense, what kind of spirit do you sense with them now that you guys have arrived in Salt Lake City and the eagerness to get back on the court?
Well, it's hard to tell given that we got in at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was a crazy day of travel yesterday with a lot of delays and no shoot around today. We had a brief meeting. This is just one of those strange games that happens every year on the schedule where everything goes wrong and your preparation is off and you have no idea what to expect. And in this particular case, we're coming in to play the hottest team in the league. So we'll have our hands full tonight, but it'll be good to get back out on the floor and hopefully play with more discipline defensively, less fouling, more rebounding, and give ourselves a chance.
What caused the issues in travel?
Just airplane mechanical issues.
Is that why you didn't have a shoot around today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coach, you've been on the forefront of some very progressive offenses, even going back to the triangle in Chicago and then pop and 7 seconds or less. The Jazz seem to be trying to emulate somewhat what you've been able to do over the last 5 or 6 years in Golden State. How successful have those been that you've noticed throughout your career, teams trying to adapt to the latest fad or something that worked for another team?
I think it's generally how the league works. Everybody sort of trends in a direction set by, the top few teams. And, the league, over the history of the league, teams have sort of, followed suit and then kind of ushered in the next generation of style. I think the Suns were at the forefront in 04, 05, of what's happening right now. And certain teams pushed it along, Houston with all their 3-point shooting. And I think our team with the pace, the combination of the pace and the ball movement for sure made an impact. And I think, a lot of teams are really playing offense at a high level now. It's very difficult to defend in the league these days because of the incredible floor spacing and pace and just the sheer volume of players who can hit the three. As far as Utah is concerned, what stands out on tape is, number one, they've been good for a long time. So the continuity is apparent right away. They all know each other so well. They execute their stuff beautifully. And what's different this year is they seem to be hunting threes more quickly and more often. And that's given them an even tougher dynamic with which we have to deal and, defensively.
Steve, sort of speaking of those growing pains, it seems like you guys have sort of settled into a basic rotation over the last few games. How important was it to try to figure out what that would be early on in the season as far as, guys developing alongside each other?
Well, we changed up, the one big rotation was flip-flopping Kelly and Andrew 3 games ago. We had a couple good games doing that, and against the Knicks, we didn't play well at all as a team. I don't think it had anything to do with the rotation, but we're still tinkering, and then of course, every game's different based on who we're playing and what we're facing, but it's going to be hard to get a really fixed set rotation anytime soon. But we're going to roll with what we're doing right now and see how it goes, and go from there.
Thanks, Coach.
Hi, Steve. Carlos Ramirez, NBC Bay Area and Telemundo. You were just talking about lineups and plus minus. You have 7 lineups that have played 50 minutes or more together this year. And the one that you've used the most is the starting lineup. They have 146 minutes together, but have the second worst plus minus. How do you balance that? I mean, how do you evaluate that? And what's a ceiling you give that lineup before making any changes?
Well, I think I've probably just covered that in my other answers. That's been one of the themes we've talked about is, we're trying to we're trying to develop James, and we are trying to build a really good defense, and we're trying to build a chemistry between the guys that we're starting together. And those are all sort of separate pieces that we're trying to throw into one container. And it's a tough thing to accomplish, but there's a reason we're doing that. We're, as I just talked about, we're really trying to push James along and hasten his development and get him used to playing starters minutes and with these guys. And so as far as changing the lineup, I don't see myself doing that anytime soon. Still very, very early in the season, and we've got a lot that we're trying to do all at once, which is not easy.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.